Okay, so let me introduce you to a company called Apex Bikes. These guys are incredible. They build some of the best bicycle frames in the world. But they have a problem. To build the perfect bike, they need a very specific, high-performance disc brake assembly. And that's something they just don't make themselves. This is a classic challenge in manufacturing.
So it begs the question, right? How do you actually build the perfect product? How do you get to be the absolute best at what you do? Well, it all starts with a really simple but powerful idea. You have to know what you're truly great at.
And, just as importantly, you have to know when to team up with someone who's the best at what they do. See, Apex Bikes, they're masters of the frame. But for those super precise, engineered disc brakes, they need a specialist. And that's where our story really kicks off. A story about smart manufacturing.
Now, the solution here, the really smart play, is a process called subcontracting. It's an awesome strategy that lets a company like Apex focus on their own genius, building frames, while they bring in outside experts for other critical parts. Think of it like this. Let's say you want a custom ring made. You go to a jeweler, but you bring your own gold and your own diamonds. You're not buying the materials from the jeweler, right? You're paying for their skill, for their service to turn your raw parts into a beautiful finished ring. That is exactly what's happening here.
So this whole thing, from start to finish, really connects three key parts of the business. First, you've got purchasing. That's who creates the official order. Then there's inventory management, which keeps track of all the physical parts going out and the finished goods coming back. And finally, auditing, which handles the payment and closes the loop. It's one big, connected cycle. So how do you manage all of this without it getting messy? Well, the brain of this whole operation is a system called SAP. Before a single bolt or brake pad leaves the warehouse, we have to create a rock-solid digital plan inside SAP. And it all starts with the blueprint for the brake itself.
Anything great starts with a recipe. And manufacturing is no different. We've got to tell our system exactly what parts we need to make just one of these finished disc brake assemblies. And in the world of SAP, that recipe is called a bill of materials, or a BOM for short. It's just a list. It tells the system, hey, for one finished disc brake, you're going to need 2 rotor discs, 1 wheel hub, and 1 brake pad. This BOM, this recipe, is the foundation for everything that comes next.
Okay, recipe's in the system. Now what? Well, we have to actually talk to our partner, the subcontractor, and make this thing official. We have to turn our plan into a real actionable request. And we do that with a purchase order, or PO. This is our official request for 50 finished disc brakes. But here's the absolute most important part. You see that little L in the item category column? That one letter is the magic switch. It tells SAP, hold on, this isn't a normal purchase. This is a subcontracting job. The system now knows we're the ones providing the parts. All right, our digital plan is locked in, the order's placed. Now, it's time to make things happen in the real world. We've got to get our raw materials out of our factory and over to our partner's workshop. I want you to just picture this scene at the Apex warehouse, right? You've got a forklift zipping around, grabbing pallets of rotor discs, hubs, and brake pads. They're getting loaded onto a truck, ready to go. But for every single physical move we make, we need a matching entry in our digital system. And this number is the key. 5, 4, 1. In SAP language, this is a movement type. Think of it like a code for a very specific action, and this code tells the system we are moving our own stock into a special category called stock provided to vendor. So, as that truck is literally pulling away from the loading dock, an operator in the office is processing this transaction. It's a perfect link. The physical parts are on their way, and in the digital world, our inventory is updated instantly. Those parts aren't in our warehouse anymore. They're now digitally earmarked for our vendor. So little time goes by. Our partner works their magic. They do all the skilled assembly work that we hired them for. And then another truck pulls up to Apex Bikes. And this is the moment of transformation. Because on that truck isn't a jumble of loose parts. No way. On that pallet, we've got 50 perfectly assembled, ready-to-go, high-performance disc brakes. Our raw materials have been completely transformed into a valuable new product. Okay, now this is where the system gets really, really smart. When we log this delivery, this goods receipt, SAP does two things at the exact same time. First, Movement Type 101 adds the 50 finished disc brakes to our inventory, and simultaneously, Movement Type 543 automatically subtracts or consumes the raw materials we sent them. It's all done in one go. SAP is basically making sure our inventory count is perfect, automatically. No more manual counting errors.
And the result is this beautiful, clean inventory swap. Before, our system showed a bunch of raw parts sitting with our vendor. After this one single transaction, poof, those parts are gone, and in their place are 50 brand new assemblies ready for our production line. It's just so clean and accurate.
So, the parts have been transformed, the finished product is sitting in our warehouse, and our inventory records are perfect. We're almost done. There's just one final piece of the puzzle. We've got to pay our partner.
Our subcontractor sends us an invoice, and we plug that into SAP. Now, here's the really important financial point. We are not paying them for the materials. Remember, we gave those to them. We are only paying for their value-added service, for their labor, their expertise, their skill. And the whole system knows that, all because we started with that special subcontracting PO.
And with that payment, that's it. The journey is over. We've just navigated a pretty complex manufacturing process with an outside partner, and the whole time we had perfect control and visibility of our parts and our money.
So what started as just a pallet of raw metal parts is now a critical, high-performance component on a world-class Apex bike, ready to hit the trails. And it was all powered by this really smart, totally connected process that links our planning, our logistics, and our finances together.
It kind of makes you think, though, doesn't it? If a company can manage the creation of a physical product this efficiently with an outside partner, what other parts of a business could be streamlined this way? From creative work to data analysis, what else could be handled by partnering with a specialist, as long as you have the right digital tools to manage it? It's a pretty powerful idea for any business today.